Matthew McConaughey and Will.i.am are helping Salesforce.
Marc Benioff, the CEO of this massive software company, has been depending on celebrities for some pretty high-level corporate discussions. Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
What the f***? They just supposed to be acting or something?
All right.
Will.i.am.
I got a feeling tonight's gonna be a good night. Impossible.
What? Hold on. Yeah, I sing songs.
If you're working in tech, make sure that you have a backup plan because shit like this is going on. I was innocently minding my business, scrolling through social media, when I came across this headline, how Matthew McConaughey and Will.i.am are helping Salesforce. I was like, yo, is that the Black Eyed Peas? I got a feeling tonight's gonna be a good night, dude. No, I was like, impossible. Will.i.am and Matthew McConaughey are now giving advice to tech CEOs. So that's what we're gonna be talking about today. Let's dive in.
Marc Benioff, the CEO of this massive software company, has been depending on celebrities for some pretty high-level corporate discussions. Matthew McConaughey, Will.i.am. Is the CEO distracted? And is he really being focused on profit where he should be?
See, I thought I was joking. I told you. And it's reported by Bloomberg. My dog could tell you having actors give you financial advice is not great. If this is the type of that's happening in the tech industry, clearly there's not a solid corporate strategy happening at these companies. They're trying to figure it out. And unfortunately, that figuring out of what the strategy should be is going to impact you.
Oh, this is unbelievable. I honestly thought you were joking when you brought this up. All I can picture him is going, all right. That's all I imagine right now.
All right.
So Marc Benioff has lost two co-CEOs in the last few years. We're talking about two pretty well-known celebrities having major influence in the company. He has a track record of seeking guidance from those not normally associated with the world of tech.
Imagine working your whole career, man, going to Harvard, going to Princeton, getting an MBA, and you show up to the board meeting one day and you see Matthew McConaughey and Will.i.am, and they actually get to speak. Yeah, man, just got off tour, but yeah, we wanted to come in and give you some advice on how you can grow revenue and reduce costs. You'd be like, bruh. First of all, like, you want an autograph, right? Like, damn, it's Matthew McConaughey and it's Will.i.am. But I ain't trying to take advice from them on like how to run a business or how to market or how to sell some shit. What the f***? They just supposed to be acting or something? Not the best way to keep high-level people who are competent and already make a lot of money. If you're working in tech, make sure that you have a backup plan because shit like this is going on.
I can understand worries about a distraction by bringing in the wrong celebrity for technological advice. Will.i.am, I know he has a gadget or two, but I don't know how much he knows about software sales.
But investors now saying, okay, get this under control.
Yeah, that was a low-key burn. Funny, but also kind of disturbing when you're thinking about someone having like an overall strategy for a company. I would say it is what it is. Capitalism sometimes isn't ideal. But in this case, like if you're an investor in a company, you come in and you're like, Matthew McConaughey was telling us on how to run the marketing division. You might be like, can't you use that money to get like real consultants or like actually hire more people or hire the right people or come up with a, like a marketing strategist or something along those lines? Isn't that probably a better use of funds and use of your time? Based on the fact that there isn't like a clear strategy at Salesforce, that more workers have been laid off, that's going to cause activist investors to come step in and offer their opinion on the best ways to actually cut costs to Salesforce. Look at some of these headlines. Activist investors are circling Salesforce. Elliott Management, the $55 billion hedge fund, has taken a big stake in the struggling tech giant, putting more pressure on its co-founder, Marc Benioff. Marc Benioff facing a number of challenges. Salesforce has seen its market value drop by roughly half since its peak in 2021 to $150 billion. It laid off 10% of its workforce in the fall after what Benioff said was excessive hiring in the tech market boom during the pandemic. Its co-CEO Brett Taylor is expected to step down this month after what the journal said was tension with Benioff. And Salesforce has been criticized for a multi-billion-dollar acquisition spree that skeptics say haven't paid off. What's next? Potential moves include more cost cuts. Salesforce still employs 71,000, more than it did before the pandemic, and a higher bar for doing takeovers. But Elliott hasn't shied away from demanding a shakeup in the executive ranks or selling off divisions, and his voice carries a lot of weight with other investors. A lot of the activist investors are now stepping in. They just care about the stock price continuing to rise so that they can make money. So if you are an employee at Salesforce or you work at one of these companies, you got to be very cognizant of what's going on from a macro level to make sure that you're protected and you have an idea of if something goes wrong, or if Matthew McConaughey says that Marc Benioff should fire more employees. Imagine that headline. Will.i.am, Black Eyed Peas fires Salesforce employees. You gotta laugh to keep from crying. Few takeaways. Every time there's a Fed hike, you can expect more layoffs. Second takeaway, if the stock of the company that you're working for is taking a plunge, you can expect activist investors to start writing letters and giving their opinions and putting pressure on their board of directors and the CEOs to start looking for ways to cut costs. It might come in the form of, yo, you hired too much. You got way too many employees. You need to lay a shit ton of employees off. And then my last takeaway is no job is safe, but with the proliferation or the popularity of AI, right, a lot of jobs are going to be lost in the near future, and some of them aren't coming back. Just to be aware of that and start looking at the trends and the skill sets that you need, not only to land another position in case you are impacted, but also look at what it takes to start becoming self-sufficient. Hope this content was helpful. Can Marc Benioff and some of these companies do whatever the hell like they want, or should they be held accountable? And if so, how? How do you feel about activist investors? Would love to get your opinion. If you like content like this, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.